Yeah, Tuesday night, lights low, sparks fly. War report after dark, better fall in line. From WWE to TNA, AU to Spark. Vince the Prince from the Northeast set it off in the dark. OG Steve led the charge. Cat Al, Eric us, 9 p.m. Eastern. Acknowledge the ring, acknowledge us.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark as we break down WrestleMania Night 2 and Monday Night Raw afterwards. Our tribal chief has gained the throne and is back as your world champion. We'll break it all down live. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, not much, man. Just ready to talk about WrestleMania Night 2 and the Raw after.
You know what grinds my gear?
What's that?
When fucking the Raw after WrestleMania was better than Night 1.
Yeah.
That grinds my gear a little bit.
But you know what, though?
It was awesome.
Night 2 was fantastic. It's amazing because I sat there at the end of Night 2 and I was like, well, Night 1 officially felt like a Monday Night Raw, and Night 2 felt like a WrestleMania.
Yes.
I mean, every single thing was just perfect for me. I mean, the booking, the matches, the finishes, I was happy with it all. And then I want to break down the matches, and then I want to talk about entrances. We got a lot to cover, and then we got to get some Raw in too. But so they start off. I was so pumped. Oh, I was so pumped. They started off Night 2, Brock Oba, and if I tell you, to me, it couldn't have been more perfect. It was 4 or 5 minutes long. It was hard hitting. Brock Lesnar put Oba over to the moon, passed the torch, and ultimately retires, which nobody saw coming, and we'll get more into that too. But the only thing I will say, I wish the match was a little bit longer, but I'm good with it. You know what I mean? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's Goldberg. I mean, ish. You know what I mean? That Goldberg Brock Lesnar WrestleMania match from WrestleMania, was it 36 in Orlando, whatever it was. So where it was like really fast, they just hit a bunch of finishers and they went home in like 5 minutes. Knowing what I know now, knowing that I know that this was Brock Lesnar's retirement match, yes, the match should have gone a little bit longer. But in the moment, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Oba got put over big. And then you see Brock like actually start crying. I'm like, oh no, he's for real. Like I don't know if you notice, he threw up the X to Paul.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like, oh shit.
That was shocking. I mean, obviously nobody saw that coming because everything we've been hearing, Minnesota, SummerSlam,
Yep.
That'll be when Lesnar hangs it up. From what I'm hearing, and I don't know how true it is or if it's, factual, but, he had the diverticulitis. He had a lot of his intestines removed, this and that. He's getting to a point now where doctors have said, you got to stop taking the bumps. And that's why Brock was good about doing a 4 or 5 minute match, putting Oba over, passing the torch. So, I mean, it would make sense. 25 years, man. I just, You know, we're a lot of them are starting to go. And listen, it's the wrestling business. That's not to say, somewhere down the line Brock doesn't show up. Maybe he'll headline Hall of Fame next year. But
I mean, that's a lock.
Yeah, but it looks like Brock is done. David Rosca, Obafemi owns Brock Lesnar. I mean, after Mania, yeah, that's pretty factual. Our boy Kevin over at Facebook. What's up?
Hey.
It's been a good minute. It hasn't been a good minute, brother. How are you? Welcome. But what a way to start the show. And especially, if your idea was to air this live on ESPN to get people to pay for the show, I mean, you couldn't have picked two better matches than Oba Brock and then the ladder match. And we had said when we were going over our picks, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if that match stole the show. And I got to tell you, I don't know that it stole the show, but I mean, it was up there as one of the top matches of all of WrestleMania. That ladder match was one of the most perfect ladder matches I've seen. With that many people, it just seemed like everybody was in the right places at the right times. Everything was seamless. Some of those spots, I mean, listen, the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder, the spots that JD Madonna took, Rey Mysterio getting launched out of the ring and then doing whatever on the ladder and hitting his face at the same time, like fucking great. Javon Evans looked like a rock star when he did his move to Rusev off the ladder. I mean, I can't say enough about that match, and I was very happy to see Penta keep the title.
It was I think the way they put those two matches on ESPN night two strategically to the average non-wrestling fan, it just introduced you to two very different type of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You have your
1000%.
hard-hitting wrestling, which was your Oba Brock Lesnar match, and then you have your high flyers, and you get to grasp an idea like, okay, like there's more than one way of wrestling. There is more than one way of dancing of this dancing style per se, So I thought it was very it was a great strategic move for them to open it up to the average non-wrestling fan that decided to tune in that night.
Yeah, but I mean, and think about it too, right? Like you're not a regular fan. And okay, you see Brock and Oba, okay, maybe that gets you going a little bit, right? But you've never seen a ladder match like this, and the people that were in that ladder match, like that would get me to say, "Hey, Mom, Dad, can you please subscribe? Like, I want to see the show." So I'd be curious to see how many last minute subscriptions there were, like to see if that actually made a difference in the amount of people that watched the show. Tara's here. Hello, Tara. Kevin, Brock is definitely headlining 27. I agree. I think that's a done deal. Javon Evans could have done a little bit more in that ladder match. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. But you had a lot of key players and a lot of spots, and you only have a certain amount of time.
And I was just going to bring that up once again. We're running into where I think a lot of the complaints that I'll have because there weren't very many is the ads and the match times. Because yes, Brock Lesnar Obafemi was 4 minutes 46 seconds, but that match wasn't going to go much more than 7 minutes anyway.
We said here on the show we didn't expect it to go more than 5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So it was right where we thought it was going to be. The six-pack one, the ladder match was 15 minutes long, which is
That
good.
was long enough to me. I felt that match was long enough. You got the high spots in there. It was entertaining as fuck. It was fast paced. Like to me, that 15 minutes I think was solid. I don't think you needed to go longer.
I thought that was a match that should have went a little bit longer, actually.
I would have
Okay.
given it more.
I
would have given
ladder
it more.
match. I thought there was a lot more left to the imagination, right? Like they just said, what's his name? The young OG could have done a little bit more,
Javon,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you could have gave him a little bit. Like there were so many high flyers, and even Rusev in his own mind, right? Like he's the bully in there. Like how did Rusev not getting a ring and just like start bombarding everybody with a fucking ladder around the ring or in a ring, or did a helicopter put around his neck and just beat the bricks out of everybody? Like there was a lot of spots I think they could have still done more, and only if we could have had less fucking commercials. But I guess commercials dominated.
Well, listen,
Mm.
nobody is going to disagree more about the fucking ads than me. I mean, anyone that listens regularly, I freak out about this on a weekly basis now. I mean, it's just absolutely absurd the amount of commercial time when you're paying $30 for a pay-per-view. It's unbelievable, and it's so goddamn frustrating.
I'd rather pay $60 again and get no commercials, honestly.
Yeah, you know what? I'm about there as well. David Roska, WWE Hall of Fame 26. Talk about that. Well, let us get through Mania first, dude, and then we'll and then we'll talk
touch
about
on
the Hall of Fame.
He really likes Demolition, I guess.
Yeah. Psycho said, "Oh wait, they didn't even really talk about him." Anyway,
His son went off on that, by the way.
yeah,
then
he
they
did
didn't-
freak that.
You notice his family wasn't there the next night. Or
Yeah,
didn't
they were
show
there
up.
night one, but I didn't see them night two. But what a great way to start. Like, I remember sitting here watching those first two matches, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, this so
Same.
far, like, we are off to a great start. This is 2 for 2, already better than night one. So I'm pumped, right? So you get through those two matches, and then Penta celebrates, and then you have the United States match with Sami Zayn and Trick Williams with Little Yachty. First and foremost,
yada 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 yada.
I like Yachty. He does nothing for me in this, and I'm finding him very annoying on the microphone. It's just the way he's delivering it with his voice. I wish it was Booker T, quite honestly. But great match. Ended the way you thought it would. Trick Williams beyond over.
Incredible.
Kind of a double turn, really, because Sammy was definitely the heel. Trick was definitely over as the face. Great entrance. The coat was hilarious. Yeah, I thought it was great, and it was definitely the right decision. Before you guys say something, Kevin, I paid $49 for that pay-per-view. I hated the ads they kept showing. Dude, even if it was ads that were entertaining, it's still the fact I shouldn't be seeing any fucking ads to begin with. It's the same issue I have. Like, I'm watching, I finally get my tribal chief coming out with the Bloodline reunited on fucking Raw, and they decide now we're going to go to commercial. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so don't get me all started. What did you guys think? Trick Williams, Sami Zayn. I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was 7 minutes. The only
Another
complaint I
match
have
that
the
could
whole
have been
night
long.
is just another match that could use some time. There's only one other match on here that I think was exactly the time it needed to be, and that was the women's championship match. That didn't need more than 10 minutes. Trick Williams, Sami Zayn, I would have liked to see them go a little bit longer, just because, like, I don't know, if we're really going to do a double turn, I would have liked to see more heat on Sammy. And it was also it was a double turn, but at the same time, Yachty, I can't believe I'm saying this fucking sentence. This is where wrestling is in 2026. Lil Yachty interfered in the match and hit Sami Zayn's neck against the middle rope. So that's like a heel thing, but because he was with Trick, it was a babyface thing. But he still cheated. Like, you know what I mean?
And people are hating on Sammy because of Carmelo.
Yes,
there has to be more with the Carmelo thing as to why he wasn't included in this.
Dude,
something must have happened. I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard of injuries or anything, but something had to have happened. Kevin, Trick versus Sammy match was well done. It really was. It was a great match. Now that brings us to the Demon and Dirty Dom. And obviously everybody is super excited to see the presentation of the Demon. I was still bummed because even though it was later on in the night, it's still on the West Coast. There was still tons of light coming through.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, they did a great job. They pulled it off. They still made it look great. He did such a great job being the Demon. And let's not take away from Dirty Dom's entrance too, by the way, because his entrance was awesome. So that was another great entrance. And that match went exactly how it needed to. The Demon needed to win. He needed to go over. I thought it was a great match. That match, I also didn't think it needed to be longer. I was good with the time. What about you guys on that one?
It was 10 minutes. I mean, for WrestleMania, I would want to see 15, but at the same time, I liked it. It's just the same thing that happened with the Falls Count Anywhere match on night one. Is like, because WWE is like this publicly traded thing now, all of their street fight stuff is a little toned down. So like, I don't know if they necessarily needed a street fight gimmick in this, because the Demon, the way Finn wrestles as the Demon is so high impact, you almost don't need the other gimmicks. Like, it was just so good to see him do the stomp and do all the mannerisms and all that shit again. So like, you almost
Right.
didn't need the extra gimmick. They announced, I mean, it wasn't a street fight until the pre-show.
Right.
Right.
My biggest thing with this is we keep talking about the time. Is it that this year the matches were way shorter than other years, or is this like the average time for WrestleMania matches?
No. So as far as, and correct me, Vince, if I'm wrong, but this is the first year that I can remember where we felt it the most in 2 nights. I felt the ads were more. It was longer. You also have to remember too, they gave an hour plus to Roman Punk, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But, so if you got an hour for that, an hour for ads, I mean, how much more time do you have on a 3.5 hour show? You know what I mean? At 9:30, we were already starting entrances for the main event.
And that's kind of like, there's a happy medium between what AEW does and what WWE is currently doing. I know for a lot of people, AEW pay-per-views tend to be a lot because they stack 14, 15 matches and it ends up going until like midnight or 12:30 for the main event. So that's a lot. I could see if AEW got back down to like 8, 10 matches, they'd be in a sweet spot there. Do all wrestling, have it end at 11 or 11:30. We don't need to go until midnight. But on the opposite end, this is a show, especially WrestleMania, where you're okay with it ending a little late. You're okay with it going as deep as it needs to go, because this is like the once a year showcase of the Immortals, blah, 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 42-year tradition. Like, that's why you tune into WrestleMania. And I mean, they're never going to change it because they make so much money. But I looked at this WrestleMania the same way I've looked at the last two. If you took the 2 nights and cut it down to just the good stuff from both nights, you'd have one really good, maybe great WrestleMania. But because it was 2 nights, and then we're judging, oh, well, the first night was and then the second night was good, and it's like you average out an night with a good night or a great night, and you still get kind of like a 5 out of 10. I would rather come away thinking WrestleMania was an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
When night 2 ended for me, I sat there and I said, this is exactly why WrestleMania just needs to be one night.
Yep.
But see, my thing is, I don't give a shit. Do it like AEW. Start that shit at like 4 o'clock. Let it go till 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Cram in all the matches.
It's WrestleMania.
I'm good with that. It's WrestleMania. Any wrestling fan is good spending their entire day making it WrestleMania Day. We do anyway. It's in the name.
WrestleMania. It's not Commercial Mania.
Right. So
and whatever happened? Tell me this. Nobody knows. But what happened to, like, remember when like Enzo Amore would be eating KFC fried chicken or something? Like, you could sell ads that way. Dominic Mysterio could eat a burrito that's too spicy and have to use dude wipes to wipe his butt or something. You know what I mean? I mean, we could find ways to integrate the things that make the commercials part of the entertainment rather than just making them commercials.
Right. I agree. They used to do that all the time.
Yeah. And I don't mind that. I mean, I didn't like it when they had all these people eating KFC ringside while the Viking Warriors were wrestling a match. That was kind of weird. But just like backstage skits where somebody happens to have a bucket of KFC and Enzo Amore is dressed like the Colonel. Of course he is. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense for Enzo to be dressed up like the Colonel. So stuff like that I'm okay with. Just the cutting to an ad. It's like, how many times can I see the same Hulk Hogan documentary, DraftKings, bet whatever? It was the same 5 commercials over and over for like 20 minutes at a clip, and it was driving me nuts.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. All right, moving on. WWE title for the women's, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. Again, I thought it was a good match. I thought it ended the way we figured it would with Rhea. I'm glad Io at least had a run-in spot, so she was somewhat a part of Mania. I thought this was the best Jade Cargill has looked in a singles match, especially with the length. A lot of that is probably to Rhea's credit. I still think Jade's got work to do, but I think I think for the most part at WrestleMania, she made it look good.
I agree. I think Jade is definitely someone who is, the quality of the match depends on the quality of the opponent. If she has somebody who can raise her up, like Seth Rollins is a guy that can take an opponent and make them look better than they are and have them have a good match. She needs somebody like that, like a Rhea Ripley, who can elevate her in a match. Because like if she, basically Jade can work up to somebody's skill level or she can work down to somebody's skill level. But
Right.
She's not the one to like carry the match. As long as she has somebody else in there, like a William Regal. Like, I'm just putting out names of people who can put on a solid match with like a broomstick. You put her out there with that kind of talent, it's going to go well. And that's exactly what you need to do with her. Like, you can't overthink it. You can't reinvent the wheel. She is what she is. She's female Goldberg. Give her 7 minutes, maybe less. Let her run people over. And then when she needs to have a good match like this, you put her in a match with a Rhea Ripley, a Bianca Belair, whatever. Well, Bianca not now, but you know what I mean.
Right. No, it's true. So I don't know. It's but in the end, Rhea's back on top. So that was
what
the right
about
decision.
the reversal at the end there? The jaded Rhea gets out and hits the Riptide. I thought that was really well done.
It looked really good too. Like very seamless looking. It was a great spot.
Yeah, that did look pretty good to just be a one-off, especially with her. Like, she's so stiff.
Yeah. Yeah. We finally got our Danhausen spot with The Miz, Kip Wilson, a bunch of Danhausen midgets, and John Cena. The absolute best part of that entire thing was John Cena laughing as Danhausen's disappearing shit went off, and then he's running around the ring and goes under. And John legitimately starts laughing. It was the best part, but it was a great, listen, it's Mania. We had to have Danhausen. We had the Blimphausen, which was great. So I thought it was a fun moment. I enjoyed it. And that got us ready for the main event. And let me just tell you, I thought throughout all of WrestleMania, there were some really good entrances, right? And Cody's entrance, we talked about when we did night one. Cody's entrance was great. Dominic's was great. Demon was great. CM Punk's was great. Roman Reigns, by far, was the entrance of the evening for me. And when the woman started singing and the piano started playing and that guy's beating on the drums, and then visually you start to see the Samoan dynasty coming up in the background, Afa, Sika, the High Chief, Yokozuna, Umaga, all of them coming up, I got goosebumps. And then the OG Roman Reigns music, not the new one.
Yep.
He went back to the Bloodline Roman music. And as soon as he came out, I looked up and I said, it is over. There is no way CM Punk is winning this match. And I have to tell you, I've seen every WrestleMania. I've been to many WrestleManias. That main event will go down as one of the greatest WrestleMania main events in history. CM Punk was phenomenal. Roman Reigns was phenomenal. The storytelling was phenomenal. They got the right amount of time to tell the story. They even tied it back to CM Punk being called old because he couldn't keep him up for that second go to sleep and he collapsed. And like they played it was absolutely fantastic. Right call, putting Roman Reigns back on top.
And no interference, no bloodline. This was Roman beating CM Punk straight up, one-on-one, no shenanigans. And I don't know if that was the plan going, from the jump, or if they decided to change things after Saturday because of all the bullshit that happened in the main event. They're like, no, we need a straight up one-on-one match, or like what? But that was the right decision to just have.
I feel you were always going to have this scenario the way it happened because of the circumstances. Said it a few weeks back when I said you're really much looking at the guy that held WWE through the pandemic versus a very big pillar of AEW during the pandemic and on. And there was no way this guy was going to come after a 10-year hiatus and beat the guy that has held it down during those 10 years. Like, I just did not see it happen. And they're both walking in as baby faces. I did not see Roman Reigns turning. The only person I could see turning was CM Punk. The only way I could see him winning was him turning heel and cheating to win. So
Right.
Roman going over clean didn't surprise me. It was the right move. I thought it was a great fight. To call it one of the best matches ever in WrestleMania,
One of.
I mean, I think I could name easily 5 to 6 matches better than that. But it was a very good match. It was a very good match. And the thing, what it is maybe I'm not giving it the kudos it deserves because of who was wrestling and what I expected out of the match. If that makes any sense, it's like, come on, it's Roman and fucking CM Punk. I expected an A+ match, which kind of hurts them for me to like top it off as a great match. But yeah, it was fucking excellent. You're right. It was a great call. It was a great match, and I love the fact that he went over clean.
Yes. No shenanigans.
Yeah, I think ranking it right now is too, like, you're going to have to look back in a couple years because, like, still a hot take from me. People think that the Cody Roman match at the end of WrestleMania 40 with all the run-ins and shit was like one of the greatest matches ever.
I mean, I'm putting that match over this one.
I don't
See,
know.
I wouldn't.
I would only
would
because
over
of
that
the
one.
story behind that match. It was like
the story.
that,
Yes,
that match was cinema. Like, that was 2 years in the making, and then everybody that pretty much like
was
anybody
involved,
who
yeah.
was anybody appeared in that match that went through that storyline with them.
But there's something to be said when you had the ability to put the bloodline back together during that match, or somebody to CM Punk's side, I don't know who that would be, and they chose not to.
Yes,
That
yeah,
they
that was big.
That the fact that you had this match as good as it was, clean and a solid, definitive finish, to me, puts it over the top for me.
And not this shouldn't have anything to do with it, but it kind of does. Relating to the buildup of this, we're talking about how on Saturday night, Cody Randy should have been a fucking slam dunk. 20 years of history and friendship, legacy, the breakup. He comes back, he wins the title. Randy's jealous, blah, blah, blah. On the other side, there is history that they had to dig up with the Shield and all of that, going very back into early into Roman Reigns' career. But the original plan was Punk Braun Breaker, or was it Seth Rollins Braun Breaker, or whatever it was. There were so many injuries that Roman Reigns CM Punk was put together very late in the decision-making process, and somehow ended up having the best build and the best match of the weekend even though it was compared to everything else decided very short notice.
Yeah, it's true. Um, all right. So before we move on, couple things, Kevin. So Kevin, we talked about a lot of this when we did the night one recap. But with the Seth Gunther and Breaker, my biggest issue with it is that obviously Breaker was cleared and ready to go, and the match should have been Breaker Rollins, and it should not have been with Gunther. To me, the match just didn't make any sense. It was a great match, but story wise, it was just thrown together, and I think we all kind of agreed when we talked about it
I
last
think
week.
it was the chairman that said it on Sunday afternoon. I'm sorry that maybe he was good enough to put a spear together, but not a fucking 15-minute match. You know, maybe he's not ready to take those bumps,
It's possible,
and they're
but
just putting him out there just to set up the next little thing for Backlash or whenever he's ready to go.
I mean the speed at which he ran down that ramp.
But
I
if you
don't know.
notice, the way he took the spear was very judicious. No pun intended, Steve. But he was very careful. Like the angle of that spear, if you look at it in slow motion or if you replay it, it was more like almost a shoulder
Yeah, he
than
kind of
a
clipped him with it. Yeah.
right. It was like an arm spear than like a shoulder. Right. He clipped him in a way. He didn't really spear him like he usually
Right.
fucking spears people.
That's true. It wasn't as impactful as it normally is.
Correct. Correct.
What do you guys think about the Bianca Belair baby announcement? I think it's great. I'm happy for him.
I called it on her way down. I thought her face looked too chubby.
You did.
Yeah, I called it on the whole way down. I was here with two of my boys, Mitch and one of my coworkers, and we were here, and I'm like, "Yo, she's pregnant," and my boy's like, "No, she ain't." I'm like, "Bro, she's pregnant, and she's still got a bandage over that finger, so she decided to have a child now because the finger ain't ready." And boom, exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I'm
And
happy
just
for her.
I think that's great, especially like you said, this is the time to do it. If you really want to have that run and you don't want it interrupted by having a baby, you're injured. Take the time off, heal the finger, have the baby, come
Right,
back when you're
and then
ready.
come back. I would tell you one thing though. Why not give us that moment and have her husband be out there with her and announce the baby? Like it didn't have to be John Cena. You could have had him out there. She
Yeah.
comes out, or they both come out with John Cena. I think that should have been a moment they both should have been on stage because he is the father at the end of the day,
I thought he was going to come out after she revealed that she was
or something
pregnant.
like that. Right?
I
No,
thought he was,
instead you just had him return on Raw the next night, but you didn't include him at all in the baby announcement.
Right.
Yeah,
Which, by the
weird.
way, it was like the pop was great at the beginning, but afterwards they really didn't get much. So you just got to split up the Street Profits at this point. There's nothing new that they did. I mean, Dawkins looks in better shape, but outside of that, just split them up, man. What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm glad that they were brought back, and we'll have to see what they
Yeah,
do
for
with them.
like a week, and then you're gonna go back to nothing.
Well, it's very possible, but I'm hoping that's not the case because I like
Yeah,
both of them.
we're hoping for the fourth time.
Yeah. The show opens Monday Night Raw, the Raw after, biggest Raw of the year, even though last year didn't feel that way. So I was very hopeful for this year. This Raw was definitely better than last year's. I don't know if I would say it was jumping out of my seat, but there were some great moments. The show opens with Oba. I mean, could it have been more perfect? He does his entrance. He lets the crowd cheer and chant, and all he says, "The ruler is here," and drops the mic. And that's it.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of what Roman Reigns would have wanted when he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania and came in and said, this is my yard now," and walked out.
And
Like
that was
that's
it.
the reaction he wanted, and
Yeah.
Oba got it. The guy's he is an app. He's not a star. He is an absolute superstar, and he just has one of the biggest aura I've ever seen on a wrestler just by just standing there, and people just go ape shit for him. So like, hopefully with health, this might be one of the best champs we ever have in the modern era of wrestling.
I mean, it's really like I've heard it, and there's nothing farther from the truth, and that is there's not many could say they feel the way they do right now about Oba that they didn't feel back in 2002 when they first laid eyes on Brock Lesnar. And that's why this entire thing between Brock and Oba made sense. You know, Brock hit the scene and was immediately a main event star.
Yeah.
Immediately. The next big thing. This is the same thing. This is lightning in a bottle with
I
Oba
mean,
Femi.
I'll tell you this much. I've always thought about who's going to be the next taker at Mania, right? Who's going to be that next person to take that mantle and start the next undefeated streak? Because I mean, history repeats itself, right? Like usually in wrestling, it does. I think that was a very prestigious streak. Until this day, I never thought of anybody that'd be able to do that, but Oba Femi seems like a very fucking good candidate for that shit.
Yeah.
To just keep it going through WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would love to see him have a Mania streak. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Addie, how are you, baby girl? Yeah, no, I think he should have a streak. I don't know if it's going to be the length of like a Goldberg streak. I don't know. I really like. It's going to be interesting to see how they book Oba now. You know, they've already teased Oba Roman.
Yeah.
I don't want them to rush it because I want Roman to have a run with the title, and I don't want Oba to lose to Roman. So
Right.
we need to put that shit on pause. When Oba said, hopefully by the end of the year, I hope he didn't mean the calendar year, and I hope he meant by Mania, because that should be, let it go for a year. Let Roman carry it, although I don't know if Roman's going to be around much past the summer. That's to be determined. But as of right now, he's full-time through the summer. So we're going to be getting a lot of Roman. And we'll get more into Roman as we get through the night. Kevin wants to know what we thought of the Ethan Page call up to the main roster. Me personally think it's a great move.
I think the guy looks the part. I haven't really watched much of him in NXT. However, I do always remember him standing out to me when he was in AEW, even though he wasn't really part of the bigger picture, I would say, over there. Hence the reason he left. But the guy's good. I've seen him cut some promos with Chelsea Green, and it's pretty strong. I guess booking looks at him pretty ideal since he went over Javon Evans. Either way, even the way he went over. It'll be nice to see. I think he'll be a good mid Carter. I don't see him being like a main eventer, but I think he'll be a solid mid Carter.
I really hope they put him and Chelsea back together on the main roster. They were really great together when they did the Mexico and all that kind of stuff. So I would like to see them put them back together. I think that would be entertaining. Addy wants to know, did Jelly Roll do a match, or can he not do that yet? So Jelly Roll had a match at SummerSlam. He's had, I think, 3 matches total. And then at WrestleMania, he didn't have a match, but he did interject himself in a match and wound up putting somebody through a table.
He did.
Yeah, he did. So
Yeah,
Jelly
he
Roll
did.
is still doing his thing. I love
I
Jelly
think he's
Roll.
gonna. The rumor is that he's wrestling at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's
could
what I'm
we-
hearing too.
Could we please take a moment to appreciate the camera work for us that weren't there live, and how Jelly Roll just showed up like Van Housen out of nowhere?
But I said it when we were
That was
breaking down
great.
night one.
I
I
thought
was
that was
like,
awesome.
Jelly Roll, the fucking magician. He just showed up out of nowhere. You know, and he's easy to miss now because the guy dropped 200 fucking pounds. I mean, he looks great. I like Jelly Roll. I just hope he's not around all too much. Like, don't overstay the welcome, because the fans are starting to turn on him a little bit, and I don't want to see them boo Jelly Roll because I like Jelly Roll. Kevin, they tease Jacob Fatu Roman. Don't jump the gun, my friend. We'll get there. That's a main event, but we will touch on that for sure. So Raw was off to a good start. You had the call up of Ethan Page.
Joe Hendry's up too, right?
Joe Hendry
next
was
week.
announced. I think he's going to be next week. He's going to do a concert, but he's on his way up to the main roster. You had Sol Ruka
Oh
Um,
my
they made
god.
it seem like she's called up, but she
Yep.
also has a match tonight against Zarya, so maybe that's her final match.
Her finisher
Oh, her finisher
might
is
be
incredible.
the best finisher, female or male, currently right now. I fucking love that move.
It is a great move.
What
The
is it called?
only thing,
The Soul Snatcher?
the Soul Snatcher. The
Yeah.
only thing I don't like, and I've said this before, I don't like the whole surfer gimmick. She needs an overhaul with the gimmick. Like, change the music. Her look is good. I don't like the music. I don't like the whole California dude shit. Like, I don't know. I just need a gimmick change. But in ring, she is awesome. And her
Yeah.
match with Liv was fantastic until Zarya interfered.
I'm gonna tell you what. There's one thing that scares me about her, a little bit.
Sol
Her,
Ruka.
yeah, her that flip she does outside the ring, man. That shit is looks so fucking dangerous. Like I don't see her enough, so I guess she just
Everything
has.
she does is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one just looks like, oh my god, like she could just pop an ankle or a knee or something. Like she literally flips to the ground from inside the ring. That shit's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
She's absolutely incredible. Kevin says the Snow Snatcher is deadly. It is. That move is one of the best finishers in the game by far. Tara says that's why I can't get into her gimmick sucks. I mean, listen, I agree with you for a change. As I said, I don't like the gimmick, but that does not take away from her in ring. She
Right.
is fucking great and she's fun to watch. So and listen, her gimmick will change eventually. Like it always happens, especially when you get called up from NXT. Not so much now, but I think they'll change something up eventually, or eventually when she does turn heel, she's obviously not going to be the whole surfer thing. So it'll change at some point. You had a segment with the Vision. You had Finn Balor, JD McDonough, which was a great match. Obviously, Finn Balor goes over.
Yeah. He
We
had to.
so Roman's SUV pulls up. He comes walking in with the title, aura already oozing, runs into the cousins. Now, how long have I been saying I really hope the bloodline reunites? How long have I been saying this? And now he approaches his cousins and they have a little thing. And I'm like, oh, well, we're right there. And then he says, come with me. And when they come out and they all throw up the ones together, I got so excited. And it looks
You
like
marked out.
I marked out hard, bro. I marked out. I did. And I'm proud of it because this was the moment I was waiting for. And it was a great promo with Roman saying, I want you to be with me. I want to do this together. I miss this. The whole promo was great. A face promo with Roman reuniting the bloodline. And then Jacob Fatu's music hits. Now I start to get even more excited because what else did I say on this show? I hope Jacob Fatu joins. And I'm saying,
Right.
oh my God, this is great. Jacob's going to join. Jacob's going to join. Obviously, it was not his intention. Made it very clear he wants the title because he wants everything Roman has so he can provide a better life for his family, which you got to respect that. Roman respects it, wants it for him too. They are family. It sounded to me like this, and tell me if I read too much into this, right?
Mhm.
Jacob issues the challenge for Backlash. Roman says, I'm going to give you the week to think about it. Make sure that you understand what comes with carrying the title and being the world champion and all this, and make sure that you're ready, right? And then oh, now I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was such on a roll too. So you have Roman saying all this shit, and then he says to Jacob, let me know next Monday because you have to be ready and prepared to acknowledge me if you lose. Now, I took that
Yes.
as if you lose, you're acknowledging me and you're joining the bloodline. So, because there's no way anybody's going to believe that Jacob, as much as I would love to see him as a world champion, think he could be a world champion, it is not happening now. So,
No.
you know he's going to lose this match. So, to me, this is setting up Jacob being in the bloodline.
That
Are you
makes sense.
bringing Sammy back in, or are you leaving Sammy out?
As of right now, the way Sammy's going, I say you leave him out. Even though
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Sammy as the honorary Uce, but if he's going to be the heel, this is going to be a face bloodline.
Right. Yeah, if he's heel, he can't be in it right now.
Well, but what did you have the opposite? Because think about it. When the bloodline was heel, Sammy was a face. So what do you have the opposite now? What do you have a face bloodline and Sammy's the only fucking heel in it?
Actually, that's not a terrible idea.
That sounds fucking great.
I don't hate
He'll
it.
be the negative one.
I
now.
don't
Yeah,
hate
come
that
on,
at
Sammy.
all. I don't hate that at all.
That'd be fucking great.
So I am very excited to see where this is going to go. I think either way, Jacob and Roman is going to be a banger. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope it does end up with Jacob joining the family and being a part of the bloodline. I want to talk about this because we're getting close to the top of the hour. And one thing we didn't talk on Raw was the interaction exchange with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, which left me a little confused. And I'll tell you why. So it sounds like they're setting up a Cody CM Punk feud now for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Orton just punt kicked your head off. And even as Kevin acknowledges, the eye, which looks, oh my God.
Yeah.
So to me, that punt kick told me this is not over and that this is continuing.
They even said it. Commentary said it. Oh, we'll have to see what happened. This is the only time a WWE pay-per-view ever felt like a TNA pay-per-view where at the end of the main event, they go, watch Impact, everybody, to find out what happens. It's the same shit that they did at the end of night one. They go, watch SmackDown to see what happens further with Randy and Cody. So, yeah, they were implying that it's moving on.
Right. So I'm very confused. Like, why are you teasing that feud now unless it's going to be a triple threat type of situation, which I'm okay with that too, as long as the outcome is that Orton gets his 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but the way that Punk was talking about something about opportunity dropping out of the sky, people are like, oh, is he going to win Money in the Bank? And instead of cashing in, he's going to straight up challenge Cody with the briefcase.
Right.
Nope. That briefcase belongs to Rey Mysterio. I mean, Dominic.
To Dom. It better be Dom's. That should be the plan for him. And then he can take it off whoever isn't Roman Reigns and has the belt. The thing that I didn't like about this is
it was a very weird exchange between the two of them too. Like it just
they're both
the whole
babyfaces.
thing made no fucking sense to me at all.
Well, they're not even on the same brand.
Right. Well, that was like, I don't know.
Well, here and here's the other thing that really bugged me. You remember back in the day when Randy Orton would punk kick somebody and they were gone
for weeks. I really thought that meant that Cody was going to take some time off. Be honest.
Yeah, like he should have at least. Like I understand it's the Raw after WrestleMania. You want everybody.
He's under concussion protocol for sure. So
he should have at least waited until SmackDown, if not until next week. Like you got to sell this. Like that's the thing that bugs me about this Cody thing is like it always seems like he's finding a way to undermine what the fuck everybody else is doing. Like just not selling.
Well, keep in mind though, for this one, the sell is looking at his eye. I think they really wanted people to get a real good look at his eye.
Ugh. Yeah, it is. It is. That's gnarly.
I honestly thought that he was going to come out and say he can't, like he was going to pull a Shawn Michaels and like have to forfeit the belt because he couldn't wrestle because of his eye, because something was broken. I could have sworn that's what was going to happen that night.
I was thinking,
and he was going to tell CM Punk that
Al thought he was going to lose his smile
out of the sky, and there's going to be a tournament, and you're going to be in it. I don't know. That's what I thought when I saw him come out like that.
Dude, yeah, I thought. Well, the first images they were showing of him as he was getting like looked at by the doctors after night one, like on the post show, it looked like he either broke his orbital or that the eye popped out of his socket, and I was like, oh, he's out for a while.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that, like, it doesn't. Then I looked at it, the orbital's not broken because you'd be able to see it, he'd look like a guy with a fucking broken face if that was the case. So it probably was just like swelling or inflammation or whatever, but it's still a nasty injury, and he can't be cleared to wrestle for
A few weeks.
at least
Well,
a
till
month.
Backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Till Backlash.
So overall, I thought a great Raw. We still probably will have some call-up surprises on SmackDown.
Yeah.
My guess it's going to be JC Jane and her crew. That I think that would make the most logical sense. You got to bring them up. So I could see that happening. I could see Zarya getting called up, quite frankly. She's a monster, so we'll see. But
What's Jay Uso's girlfriend's name?
Apparently the rumor going around is that he's with Jada Parker.
Yeah, that's the one she's been with for a while.
And she's great. I don't know if she's ready to get called up, although she is massively over on NXT. So, and she's not half bad. She's got a great look. So I'd be okay with that too. But definitely expect some surprises on SmackDown because it's the first SmackDown after Mania, so it should be big. But definitely a much better job for Raw this year than last year. The only other thing too, and I don't really want to get myself all like going because it's the end of the show. One of the higher ups at TKO was on something and basically said that they make all the decisions. Like, you're basically using Triple H as a poster boy, but you guys call all the shots. And, if they are handling creative and everything else, this is going to be a really long year.
It's probably one of those things where they go, this is what we want you to do. Figure out how you can do it.
Right.
Rather than like, hey, you have free reign to write your own storylines. They're going to be giving him suggestions.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think, I don't know if anyone watched the post show night 2. But there were very loud "fuck TKO" chants, which made me very happy. Very happy.
I mean, listen, man, if the company has to keep making money for TKO to keep them around. Ari Emanuel is not Vince McMahon. He's not Vince Sr. He's not Jesse McMahon. He doesn't give a shit about the legacy of the business. He cares whether or not it's making money for him. And if there's any point that WWE stops making money for them or stops being as profitable as it once was, don't be surprised if TKO sells it. Don't be surprised if the Saudi government buys it or if some other
sell it, please. Yeah. For the love of God, sell it. I'm okay with it. Sell it. I'm over TKO.
Saudi sell it. Keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of pay-per-views overseas. I don't know how happy you're going to be with that, Steven. You ain't think about that one, huh?
I didn't necessarily say sell it to the Saudis.
Yeah.
But listen, right now, that might make more sense.
It might.
Hey, at least we know those guys watch wrestling.
Yeah. And you know what?
Fans.
And they'll give Triple H full carte blanche to do whatever the hell he needs to.
Hello. So, wait, here we go. Can you hear? Hello, sir. Yes, we want Yokozuna to be Universal Champion. How am I going to do this?
You gotta sound like Triple H. How the hell am I going to do this? This is impossible.
I gotta take my glasses off and put them on top of my head and just rub my face. We had a good gate, good ticket sales, and just like
Heyman. Heyman.
Oh.
But Backlash, which is usually one of the more I don't give a shit shows of the year, I think might shape up to be a decent one. We'll have to see where all this goes, but if the main event is Roman Jacob Fatu, that right there, in my opinion, will be price of admission.
For sure.
So I would definitely check that out. Other than that, anything else we need to cover? I think we got through everything. No,
I
No, there's one more thing missing.
talk
Yep.
to me, Goose.
Fuck Goldberg.
There it is. Also, Kevin had a thing about his SmackDown call-up prediction is Ricky Starks, aka Ricky Saints.
Oh, I missed that one. Yes. Listen, very positive,
yeah.
very possible because that's Cody's boy. So
Right. That would be the brain to bring him up on. Have him and Cody in there. Even if they're not interacting, it's just like, yeah, you're on the brand with the guy that brought you in. Makes sense.
yeah. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the top of the hour.
Indeed. Man, WrestleMania Night 2, a little bit of Night 1 talk, and the Raw after WrestleMania. The only thing coming up next is, of course, tonight's NXT that we didn't watch because we were podcasting, and then also SmackDown on Friday, continuing the story as we head towards Backlash now. Thank you guys for listening to us and watching us. We stream on Facebook and YouTube Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to facebook.com and in the search bar, type tag me a date. You'll find our page, hit the thumbs up or the follow button, and our live stream will show up in your news feed. If you're on YouTube, go to the search bar, type in tag me a date. You'll see our channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. A notification will be sent to your phone or your tablet 30 minutes before the show. And again, we go live 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at tag me a date with no spaces. It's all one word. And you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter /X on at tag me a date. If you are on TikTok, just type the War Report podcast into your search bar and hit the follow button. On social media, we post reels and shorts of what we discussed on last week's podcast to get you ready for next week's show. And last but not least, if you prefer an audio version instead of a video version of this podcast, you can go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Type in the War Report, type in tag me a date. You'll see our lovely logo that's in the top right-hand corner of the video. You'll see Steve, Vince, and all of our names in the description. Hit subscribe, and Steve or Ryan will grab that audio between Tuesday and Wednesday and upload it right to the podcast apps. So as long as you're subscribed, once it's uploaded, it will get delivered right to your phone or your tablet. You can take it with you on the road if you're driving or if you're doing laundry or whatever it is you do throughout your day. Thanks, everybody, for commenting. Kevin, Tara, everybody else, David. And leave a like on your way out, share, all that good stuff. We'll be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Have a great one, everybody.